Hello everyone, let's talk about how to get that beautiful glowing skin for your wedding day or really any big event. This is going to be a timeline of what procedures we can do, what skincare you need to do, and really when to start all of these things. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Swati Kannan and I am a dermatologist out here in California. I actually just got married 6 months ago, and so I did a lot of procedures and really perfected my skincare, and I will share that as well. This video will refer to any big event. I'm just going to call it a wedding, but really this is useful for anyone getting ready for an anniversary, getting ready for your wedding, going to a wedding, a reunion, or really any major event that you want to look good for. This video will help you to do so. This is also just a summary of what devices we can use. We have so many options and I just can't go over all of that in one YouTube video. So if you are interested, make sure you see a dermatologist near you who is very good at cosmetic procedures. That way they can give you the correct timeline of what's needed for you. Before I get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on how to get that beautiful skin for your big day. At 9 months to 1 year out, this is the best time actually for acne patients. If an acne patient comes to me a month before the big day, my hands are kind of tied. So for acne patients, especially if you have severe or cystic acne, we may need to start you on Accutane, and that takes a good 6 to 9 months to clear your skin. If you have deep acne scarring, we may have to do multiple treatments, especially with lasers or a combination of different treatments to help with your acne scarring, and I need about a year actually to be able to rejuvenate your skin. For patients who have hair loss, similarly, I need about 9 months to 1 year. We have to do so many different treatments for hair loss, and you can check out my previous 2 videos on hair loss. I need a good amount of time to be able to try different treatments so that we can get as much hair growth back as possible. This is also the time to start laser hair removal. It takes about 6 to 10 treatments for laser hair removal to actually be effective. So we need about a year to be able to get rid of your hair. Around 9 months is also a good time to start a skincare regimen that's effective for you. And so you can see a dermatologist to curate a regimen that's effective for your skincare concerns. You can dabble if you want to, but I do think that a lot of people end up ruining their skincare barrier. And so then we're not only fixing their underlying skin issues, but now also we're delayed because we have to repair the skin barrier that's been broken. Around 9 months is also a good time to try Botox and fillers if you want to do them and if you've never done them. You know, I do tell my patients when I first do your Botox, I'm just getting to know you. And so sometimes people like it, very mobile. Some people like all their muscles to be frozen, and you're not going to know what you like until you give it a try. Botox lasts about 3 to 4 months. So let's say we do something and you don't like it, well, it's all gone and we can do something different. So we have room to tweak if you start doing it early. And same thing for fillers. People want lip fillers, people want cheek fillers, chin filler. Well, if you don't like what it looks like, then we have time to dissolve it and try something different. But if you've had Botox and fillers done and you've already established a relationship with your dermatologist, then you don't have to do it so early before the big day. But if you haven't, it's a really good time to start early so that you can know what you like and don't like. At 6 months to 9 months out, this is a really great time to start a retinoid. A retinoid is one of the most important anti-aging treatments that you can do. It's also really great for skin texture, fine lines, acne scarring, really any scarring, hyperpigmentation. The only downside of a retinoid is that it can be pretty irritating and it takes a long time to work. So you need about 6 to 9 months to really see that difference when you implement a retinoid, so you want to start it early. We can also start some laser treatments around this time. Depends on what kind of treatment you want. If you want a treatment that has very low downtime, then I recommend treatments like Clear and Brilliant, Fraxel at very low settings, or even microneedling. But these lasers, in order for them to be the most effective, they are a series of treatments. And so we do a treatment spaced every 4 to 6 weeks to really get the biggest bang for your buck. And that's why, again, I would recommend starting these treatments at about 6 months before the big day. Additionally, for anyone with sun damage, it's a good time to do a intense pulse light or a BBL treatment, plus or minus a resurfacing treatment like Fraxel or Halo. Again, with IPL or BBL, to treat the sun damage, it's a series of 3 to 4 treatments spaced every month apart. The resurfacing treatments like Fraxel or Halo are usually one and done. Some people might need a second treatment. And so that's why, again, I like to start about 6 months before. And finally, if you have rosacea, especially when you have redness of your cheeks, a lot of people want that redness to get better before their wedding day. But there's not really, there are certain creams that will give you that 10-hour benefit. But if you want lasers done, again, we do a series of 3 to 4 treatments, and we usually treat rosacea with lasers like IPL, BBL, something called PDL or KTP, and these are just basically different vascular lasers that target the blood vessels. So now we're at 3 to 6 months out. Very similar to before where we can do Botox, fillers, a lot of the lasers, but usually, like I said, I start that at 6 months. At 3 months is when we can start more gentle things like chemical peels. We can continue the Clear and Brilliant or microneedling treatments. One of my favorite combos around this time is to do a micro laser peel. A micro laser peel either by itself or in combination with the intense pulse light or BBL. This is a peel that's done with the laser, but I can control the depth of the peel, so it's much more specific to you. So I can make it very superficial or I can make it more moderate depending on what settings we end up using. And people really love the after effects of the laser because it really gives you this radiant glowing skin and gets rid of a lot of the sun damage. We can do this even 1 month out from the wedding day, and by the wedding day you will have this beautifully refreshed radiant skin. As far as skincare is concerned, by this time, so by the 3-month mark, you should really have a skincare regimen that does not irritate your skin. And so again, it's important to curate this regimen with an expert so that you start off right the first time around. You can also start adding a gentle acid around this 3-month mark, so this would be your chemical exfoliation. I am not really a fan of physical exfoliation because it can leave micro tears on the skin and just irritate your skin even more. For chemical exfoliation, especially for gentler chemical exfoliation, I like ingredients like lactic acid, mandelic acid, glycolic acid. I think glycolic acid products actually do leave that really nice glow, and I will probably make a video about acid soon. Now, 1 month out, it's almost D-Day. You're probably really stressed about the wedding and whatever else is going on. You might be breaking out with a few pimples because this is kind of what happened to me. So at this point, we will amp up your acne regimen if we need to, not to make you purge, but just so that you don't break out at all on your wedding day. And I usually do this by either starting a medication called spironolactone if I haven't done that already, or I'll give you a short course of antibiotics if you tend to break out around stress. Not everybody does, and so it really depends on how you think your skin does when it's stressed out. At 1 month out is also when I do my final Botox touch-ups. I really don't like to do Botox after 1 month because you never know when you might get a little bit of asymmetry. And so 1 month out is really my cutoff for Botox. Also, it does take a good 2 to 3 weeks for your Botox to kind of settle down. So by your wedding day, you should have the full effects of Botox if you do it about a month out. I will also do my final Clear and Brilliant treatment. I will do the final microneedling treatment at a 1 month out. Previously, I discussed that medication spironolactone. This is also a really great medication for patients who tend to get puffy. So I will start spironolactone at low strength so that you can minimize how puffy you get. At 1 month out, I really advise that you don't try any new skincare products, that you stick to your skincare regimen that's working. The last thing you want to do is irritate the crap out of your skin by trying a new product. I also don't recommend any new chemical peels at this point. We really just want to maintain status quo. At 2 weeks before the big day, I'm going to tell you to stop all of your acids and even stop your retinoid if you tend to have irritated skin. Now, if you have very oily skin, then you can probably continue your retinoid, but I want to minimize how much active ingredients you're using. If you have any active pimples at this point, go see your dermatologist. And this is why it's good to establish a relationship beforehand, because we can fit you in to inject that pimple so that it goes away much faster. You can also use hydrocolloid patches like Zip Sticka, which literally you just cover your pimple and it just pulls the juice out. So this is also really great to use right before your wedding if you get a big pimple and you can't come and see us. Now, at the 2-week mark, your goal for your skincare is hydration. So I recommend that at this point you start a hyaluronic acid serum. And on my Instagram, I do recommend some of my favorite hyaluronic acid serums, but you want to use this on damp skin and then put a moisturizer on top. Get your waxing and threading done also about 1 to 2 weeks before. That gives you enough time for your skin to settle down from any irritation that can occur. And honestly, at about 1 week out, just pluck your eyebrow hairs. Please don't get waxing done. I have seen countless burns from waxing done at the last minute, so just pluck your eyebrow hairs. The other trick is if you do get irritation from waxing or threading, is you can use hydrocortisone ointment or cream, which is over the counter. It contains a little steroid in it so that it will minimize your irritation faster. For full face, I really don't recommend full face waxing or threading. I recommend doing dermablade treatments, and this you can do about 1 week before the wedding to really get rid of the peach fuzz and help that makeup go on flawlessly. If you want to do dermablading at home, you can, but practice way in advance so that you don't cut yourself. You can buy dermablade kits on Amazon, and I'll put a link to one of them in my description. You can also get dermablading done by a professional, which is a lot more effective because we use a bigger blade to really get all of the dead skin and the hairs off. But please don't try this at home if you have never done it before, at least not 1 week before. So now it's just a few days before your wedding. You are probably super stressed, or you might not be. And if you're not, props to you. A few days before the wedding, you really want to eliminate your salt intake, or at least limit your salt and sugar as much as possible, because this will help you minimize bloating and puffiness. Also limit your alcohol, because that contributes to dehydration, which kind of makes your skin, not as radiant, and it contributes to puffiness sometimes. A few days before is a good time to do a procedure called the microgold procedure, where we inject dilute Botox, filler, and sometimes even PRP or platelet-rich plasma into the skin. And this is what all the celebrities get done right before the Oscars event or Golden Globes, and it really just makes your skin glow. It can also be a good time to get hydrofacial, which is very relaxing. That also helps to rejuvenate your skin. And all of these effects are temporary, to be honest, but if you get them done a few days before, then you will see that your skin is more radiant. And remember, at this point, both the brides and grooms are super busy. Your family's in town. You're going to forget to eat and drink, but please drink water, stay hydrated. Don't overdo it on caffeine or alcohol. It's not just what you put on the outside that matters for your skincare. What you ingest also plays a big role. And like I said, if you have a pimple and you can't see a dermatologist, then use those zip stickers. Keep them handy, because those pimple patches will become your best friends if you get a big one. And now you made it to the day of your wedding. It's your big day. The goal for your wedding day is hydration and depuff. So on the morning of your big day, make sure you drink a nice big glass of water, because the entire day you're going to be so busy getting photos taken, getting ready, having everyone around you. So you want to stay hydrated. On damp skin, use the hyaluronic acid serum right before your makeup artist goes on to do her makeup. You can also use a moisturizing face mask as well as moisturizing eye masks. If your face is kind of puffy, you can use ice or those cold jade rollers to kind of depuff your face. Make sure that you're going in the direction of the lymph flow, which is usually like upwards, diagonally, and then downward. So it's like, this is the motion for those depuff instruments. The one trick for eye masks is to put them in the fridge the night before. So when you use it on the morning of your wedding, it's going to be so cold and refreshing, and it will help to depuff a lot better. And if for some reason you get a pimple on the day of your wedding, do not get worried. You can zip stick it. Yes, it's now a verb. You can zip stick it until your makeup artist gets started. But really, on the day of your wedding, you're really going to look so beautiful, and no one's going to notice that 1 or 2 pimples. So do not worry about that. This is really the most fun day. And so you should really be focused on embracing every single moment of the day and not worry at this point what you look like, because you're going to look radiant. I've never seen a bride or groom not look anything but the best versions of themselves on this day. All right, so what did I do? Well, I did a lot because, I'm in dermatology and I have access to a lot of things. I've been doing Botox for, since my late 20s. And so I did my Botox. My last Botox was probably 3 to 4 weeks before my wedding day. I did do fillers. That's the one thing, I would mention, is that a lot of people try to lose a lot of weight right before their wedding. And if you lose weight too fast, you're really going to deflate your face. And the plump cheeks that we all like, that kind of goes away if you lose weight fast. If you think you need to, please lose it at a steady, slow rate. Do not lose weight so fast. But yeah, so I did Botox. I'm in my mid-30s, and so I did have volume loss. I did a little bit of filler. I did 6 clear and brilliant treatments along with microneedling to help my melasma. I perfected my skincare routine, which actually was really good, because prior to getting ready for the wedding, I was a little bit lazy with my skincare. I've always been really good about sunscreen use, but I didn't use vitamin C, and I just wasn't always very consistent with using all these serums. And so I became much better about it, and it became a habit. So I'm kind of grateful for that. I stopped salt intake several days before the wedding. I do tend to get puffy with salt, and so on the day of my wedding, I was not puffy. I used an eye mask. I used a hyaluronic acid serums. I did not use a face mask because I didn't have one, but if you do, you can definitely get it. I was also studying for my boards. I had to take my skin cancer surgery boards, and so I was studying for that, and I took my boards 6 days before I got married. So I was incredibly stressed. It was stressful. Do not take boards and get married at the same time. But on the day of my wedding, I was very peaceful, and I had a really amazing makeup artist. My friends were there from all over the country, and that was really fun. And so I didn't really focus too much on what I looked like, surprisingly. I mean, I was very happy with how I looked on my wedding day. I just wanted to like hang out with everyone and have fun. And I think that attitude is much more important than being worried about whatever may go wrong, because things definitely went wrong on our wedding day, but just brush it off. You know, a lot of times we mention skincare for wedding, but we don't really mention how to take care of your stress. So it's really important that you establish a good routine to make your stress better. So, you know, meditation, yoga, exercise, whatever it is, make sure you establish a routine to help manage your stress. That was really important for me, as I had a lot of things going on at once. Your wedding will literally pass in the blink of an eye, so embrace every single moment and don't worry about the hiccups. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know, comment below, and please hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on how to get that beautiful glowing skin. Have a good day.